Ever had that little spark of an idea for an online business, but had no clue where to even begin? Well, today we're going to walk through that founder's journey, step by step, to show you how to build something from the ground up. Let's dive in.
So why even bother with e-commerce right now? Well, for starters, the size of the opportunity is just huge. We're talking about over 2 billion people online who are actively shopping. Now, that's not just some random number. That's a real global marketplace just waiting for your idea. The real question is, how do you get in front of them? Okay, before we go any further, let's just make sure we're on the same page. When we say e-commerce, we're talking about the whole shebang. The buying, the selling, the transfer of money, all of it happening online. The idea itself is pretty simple, right? But as you're about to see, the magic is really in the details.
So here's our game plan for today. First, we'll talk about the why now, the e-commerce gold rush. Then, we'll get into your business blueprint, how to build your digital storefront, the secret to finding your first customers, and finally, getting your launchpad ready. Let's get to it.
You know, we're calling this the e-commerce gold rush for a good reason. This isn't just some passing trend. It's a massive shift in how we all shop and do business. And really, the best time to jump in was yesterday. But you know what? The second best time is right now.
So what's the big deal? Well, for one, your store is open 24/7 to anyone, anywhere in the world. And your setup costs? Way lower than a physical shop. But honestly, the real game changer is this. You get direct access to your customers. That lets you build a real brand and a community that actually cares. That's powerful stuff. All right, so you get the why. You're feeling the excitement. Now let's talk about the how. Every single great business, and I mean every one, starts with some kind of plan. It's time to create your blueprint. And please, when you hear the words business plan, don't let your mind jump to some scary 100-page document that's going to take you a year to write. A modern business plan is way simpler. Just think of it as your roadmap, a simple guide to keep you pointed in the right direction. In fact, you can boil that whole roadmap down to just 3 basic questions to get started. 1, what are you going to call your business? 2, what exactly are you selling? And 3, how much can you invest to get this thing off the ground? If you can answer these 3, you've got a solid foundation. And look, this just goes to show you how much easier it is to start today. Even for that first big question, coming up with a name, you're not on your own. There are tools out there that can literally spit out ideas and check if the website domain is available right then and there. That's a huge hurdle just gone.
Okay, you've got your blueprint. Now for the fun part. It's time to build. We're talking about your digital storefront, which is basically the online version of a cool boutique or shop where people can come in, look around, and hopefully buy something. At the absolute heart of your store is your product page. Seriously, you should think of this page as your best salesperson. Its one and only job is to give a customer all the info they need to feel totally confident in clicking that buy button.
So, what makes a product page actually work? Well, it's these 4 things. First, great photos from all different angles, that's non-negotiable. Second, a description that doesn't just list features, but sells the benefits. Third, make the price and any options like size or color super obvious. And last but not least, a big, bold Add to Bag button that's impossible to miss.
But here's where so many new founders get tripped up. You can do everything right. The customer loves the product, they click that beautiful button, but getting them to add to bag is really only half the battle. So get ready for this number, because it's a bit of a shocker. 69%. On average, that's how many shoppers will abandon their cart before they actually pay. That means nearly 7 out of 10 of your potential sales just disappear. It's like having a giant leaky bucket. So why is this happening?
Well, the data gives us some really clear answers. The number one reason, by a long shot, is getting hit with unexpected costs, usually high shipping fees. The next biggest culprit is being forced to create an account. And right behind that is a checkout process that's just too long and confusing. The takeaway here is so clear. Your checkout needs to be simple, it needs to be fast, and it needs to be honest.
All right, your store is built. You've plugged the leaks in your checkout process. Now it is time for the grand opening. But how do you actually get people to show up to the party? It's time to find those first customers.
You can think of these channels as your promotional megaphones. You've got social media. You can use Google to be the answer someone's looking for. You can build a direct line with email, or you can write helpful blog posts. But here's the secret. You don't have to yell into all of these at once. Just find the 1 or 2 places where your ideal customers are already hanging out and focus there.
We have covered a ton of ground here, right? We've gone from that first little spark of an idea all the way to a strategy for finding an audience. So now it's time to bring it all together and get ready for takeoff on your launchpad.
So let's just recap the journey real quick. It really just comes down to 4 key steps. Start with a simple blueprint, don't overcomplicate it, build a clean, clear digital storefront, make that checkout process absolutely seamless, and then go find your customers where they already are. Look, we've laid out the path for you. The tools are out there, the strategy is clear, and the opportunity is absolutely massive. The blueprint is officially in your hands. So the only question left to ask is, what are you going to build?